Hi everyone, myself G.B. Munarwar, PGT Physics, JNB Latur. Today we'll deal with kinematical equation of motion and its proof by using the calculus method. So we know there are three kinematical equations of motion. Number one, V is equal to U plus AT, and you all are familiar with the symbolic representation of this equation. Second kinematical equation of motion is S is equal to ut plus half of at square. I'll tell you the symbolic representation of each and every symbol in this equation. The third kinematical equation of motion is v square is equal to u square plus twice a. Yes. These are the three kinematical equations of motion. These equations are relating the different parameters of the kinematics. Kinematics means actually it's a motion, study about the motion and its different parameters without going into the details of the causes of the motion. That is the kinematics. Actually, kinematics is a word originated from a Latin word kinema. Kinema means motion. On the basis of that, we can say the kinematical equation of motion. These three equations are there, which we are very much familiar with it. Symbolic representations are v is a final velocity. Here I will write it. V is a final velocity. U is an initial velocity. Okay. A is the acceleration. These all parameters already we studied and we knows its dependence on the different parameters. S is displacement. So these are the parameters of the motion. V is equal to U plus AT. This equation can be proved by using either the definition of the acceleration or by using the graphical method. Both the methods are known to you. Today we are going to see how these equations can be proved by using the calculus method. Calculus method means we have to use differentiation and integration in it. So see, we'll start from the definition of the acceleration. A is equal to dv by dt. The rate of change of velocity with respect to time is known as the acceleration. A is equal to dv by dt. By rearranging the term by cross multiplication, you write here a dt is equal to dv. Just by making the cross multiplication, you can write a dt is equal to dv. Integrating on both the side, integration of a dt is equal to integration of dv. When we integrate the terms, the variables are having some values. The initial velocity is u and the final velocity is v. The variable is a velocity having the lower limit and the upper limit. Similarly, the variable is a time. Limits are from 0 to t. Sometimes we'll write it from t1 to t2 also. See, these are the equations with a constant acceleration, uniform acceleration, uniformly accelerated motion. That's why acceleration remains constant. We can take it outside the integral sign and now it will become integration of dt with limit 0 to t is equal to integration of dv limit u to v. The integration of d of t is equal to t. So a as it is, here t, limits are from 0 to t is equal to integration of d of v is v, limits are from u to v. Now we'll give the limits, upper limit minus the lower limit for the variable. On the left hand side, time is the variable. On the right hand side, the velocity is the variable. The upper limit of the time is the t, lower limit is 0. Upper limit of the velocity is v, lower limit is u. Putting the limits, we'll write a as it is, t minus 0 is equal to, instead of v, we'll write v and then we'll write u, so it will become v minus u. Therefore, at is equal to v minus u. Here what we'll do, the negative of the u, which is on the right hand side of the equation, we'll take it on the left hand side. It will become u plus at is equal to v. Just by rearranging the sides, we'll write v is equal to u plus at, and that is the proof of first kinematical equation of motion, which we derived by using the calculus method. So this is the way how the kinematical equation of motion can be proved by using the differential method. So that's it about the first equation. Now we'll switch over to the second equation and proof of it by using the same method, that is the calculus method. Second equation is the equation in between the displacement, the initial velocity, the time, acceleration and the time. We start. How we started the first equation? Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity with respect to time. Here, to prove the second equation, we'll start with the definition of the velocity. V is equal to dx by dt. You know, the velocity is the rate of change of displacement with respect to time. It's also written as dx by dt. It's also read as d dt of the x, that is the differentiation of the x is known as the velocity. Here also we'll do the cross multiplication. We'll get dx is equal to v dt. In the same step, I made the cross multiplication and I rearranged the term from LHS to RHS, and here we'll get the equation dx is equal to v dt. Once again, what we'll do here, we'll put the value of the v which we obtained from the first equation of the motion, v is equal to u plus at. Here it will become now dx is equal to u plus at times dt. We'll solve it. Dx is equal to u dt plus at dt by doing the distribution. Now we'll integrate it both the side. Integration of dx from 0 to s is equal to integration of u dt from 0 to t. Here also integration of at dt from 0 to t. Because the variables on the left hand side is the displacement, that's why we wrote the values of displacement 0 to s. The lower limit is 0, the upper limit is s. On the right hand side, the variables are the time, and the lower limit of the times 0 and the t. Then we wrote it, and now we'll integrate it. The integration of d of x is x only, with the limits from 0 to s is equal to integration of u dt. Here we considered u is the initial velocity. By considering it as a constant, you can take it outside the integral. Integration of d of t will become t only. Limits of the time are from 0 to t plus. Again it is the uniform accelerated motion, that's why a is also constant. A is outside the integral sign. Integration of t of dt is t square by 2, and we have to give the limit of the time, that is from 0 to t. Okay, now we'll put the limit to the variable. The upper limit minus the lower limit, the left hand side will become s minus 0 is equal to u times t minus 0 plus a by 2 times t square minus 0. S minus 0 is s is equal to t minus 0 is a t, it is ut plus 1 by 2 times at square, half of at square. And see how easy it is to prove the second kinematical equation of motion by using the calculus method. Same approach we followed. We use the definition of the velocity as a rate of change of position with respect to time. We did some integration. We put the limits of the variable. We rearranged the term, solved it, and we got the proof of the second kinematical equation of the motion. In the similar way, we'll find the proof of the third kinematical equation of the motion, which is v square is equal to u square plus twice as. So just we'll switch over to the third equation and its proof. V square is equal to u square plus twice as is the third equation. To prove this equation, once again we'll use the same formula which we used in the first equation. A is equal to dv by dt, but here we'll do some modification to this equation because we want the equation in v, u, a and s. Accordingly we rearrange the term. So A is equal to dv by dt. We know that by multiplying and dividing to any mathematical equation with the same term, its mathematical equality will not change. So same thing we'll do here. A is equal to dv by dt multiplied by dx by dx. We multiplied the term by dx, we divided it by the dx, so that equality is not getting changed. Now here A times dv dx by dt will write as one term, and here is a dx. But the reason is that we know that the dx by dt is nothing but the velocity v. So here we'll write A is equal to v times dv by dx, because v is equal to dx by dt. The velocity is the rate of change of displacement with respect to time. Again this dx will transfer it to the left hand side. It will become A times dx is equal to v dv, and this is the equation which we require to prove the third kinematical equation of motion. Now we'll integrate the both sides. On integrating both the sides, we'll write here integration of A dx is equal to integration of v dv. Here again A is a constant, we take it outside the integral, and integration of d of x will write one step. Next step will integrate on both the side v dv. We know that the variable is a v on the right hand side. The integration of v is v square by 2. The integration of v is a v square by 2. Here A is a constant outside the integral. The integration of d of x is x itself. What are the limits? Yes, from 0 to s, already we use. The integration of v is v square by 2, and limits are from the lower limit of the velocity is the u, and the final limit is a v. So we put the limit u to v. Now we will give the limit to the variable a as it is. Instead of x, we will write the upper limit s minus the lower limit 0 is equal to, instead of v square, we will write the upper limit v square minus lower limit u square. 2 is a constant as it is. We will make the cross multiplication here also. Twice as is equal to v square minus u square. By rearranging the term, we will write v square is equal to u square plus twice as, and this is the third kinematical equation of motion, which is also proved by using the calculus method. So that's it. These are the three kinematical equation of motion. You have to remember it. Most important equations, and are useful to solve many numericals on the motion. Out of these 3 or 4 parameters in different equations, one parameter will not be given. That also can be very easily find by using this kinematical equation of motion. In the next session, we will take the examples on these kinematical equations of motion. I hope all of you might have been understood it properly, how the kinematical equation of motion can be proved by using the calculus method. Thank you very much.